Hi. Let's get into the next video, yeah. Right away here, we're gonna have probably the toughest thing of the run so far. And this will take a little bit to get down. Let's just watch it first. So wall glide, and there's certain spots where you can stand and you can go through the scenery right there. So let's roll this back and kind of take it step by step. Like I said, this is gonna take some practice, but I'm gonna give you some tips. Um, You see me triangle drop out of the portal as I'm holding R2. I think that's a good starting point. If you're a beginner, maybe you want to get like right up to this ledge or like right here so that you can still take a bit of a walking or running start. Um, and basically you do want to be somewhat parallel with the wall. You see how I'm here? So basically the general idea with wall gliding, as this is our first wall glide of the run, is you want to get just enough of the wall that it's giving you some height, but if you go too harsh into it, you're gonna flop and fall down, and if you don't go on it enough, you're gonna just not get the height and not be able to do the trick. So like I said, you're gonna want to be jumping from here. Gonna want to probably take at least a walking start. Um, to have some momentum going outwards. And when you jump, you want to keep holding forward. So it's a full hop outwards. And then we're also going to do a charge glide. Now, you can get this without a charge glide, but this trick is honestly a good place to start trying to optimize your charge glides. If you haven't watched the movement video that's recommended, or the movement videos that are recommended down below, I do recommend watching them. Um, Charge glides are very, very, very mandatory. Well, not mandatory, but uh, intrinsical to the speedrun. We'll say that. They're faster, and you can get a lot more height with your glides. And this trick is going to be it's going to be easier with the better your full hop and charge glide are, because you start with more height and you don't have to you can just focus on maintaining or even losing a little, um, as opposed to trying to get height on this wall. So let's roll it back a few frames here. Momentum outwards. See how I'm jumping outwards? Full hop charge glide. And then once you get on this wall, somewhat parallel, you're gonna wanna kind of tap left a few times. Just tap left, because you see how it curls outwards a little bit? If you just hold it straight, you're gonna flop down here. Just wanna tap. See how I just tap a few times? Then once you get to this corner, you're gonna want to charge down to the right. Or, if you're a beginner, you don't have to super optimize this movement. You can just fly down into the right and land around there. You're gonna have to play with this wall a bit. There's spots where you can stand and there's spots where you can't. In general, though, if you find a spot where you can't stand, you can generally at least save it with a roll bounce, unless you're just too low. If you're too low, you'll just slide down. But basically, there's something called roll bouncing, where if you hold X, Spyro will curl up into a ball and a bounce, and you can control him in that. As long as you keep holding X and are landing on roll bounceable scenery, you can still get up with that. Although it's slower, you won't fall down. So toy with that. This is something you're gonna have to put several hours of practice into if you're a beginner, for sure. And this wall glide is important for almost every single category. Um, if you really don't want to learn it, you can run around it. I don't know exactly how much it loses, but it's probably in the realm of 10 seconds to run around to not do this wall glide. But yeah, I do recommend learning it. Then there, I'm gonna pause here as a good visual for where to land next. And I'm gonna jump through the scenery around here. If you would rather, you can jump up here. There's another standable spot up here A lot of categories go into toe C, this does not, so we don't have to do like land up here and then do that. So it's faster also just go through the scenery, so I'd recommend doing that. There's a pretty wide area here where you can go through. It's not very picky. Just go through. Make sure you land on the other side. Yeah. This dragon's our target. Touch it on that side. Once again, Spyro's gonna come out here, so make sure to stand or touch it on that side. And obviously you can figure out the casual route around if you don't want to do that wall glide, and either way you're gonna want to come touch this dragon. Because we do need 10 dragons to exit artisans, which that won't be a problem because we'll have 11. But you need 50 dragons to exit Metalhead, which is, or not Metalhead, to exit Beastmakers, which is the number of dragons that we need in this run is 50. So after that, there's some variations for what you can do here. Personally, I like to come through here, just take a line through this chest and get this red. Some other people get that chest and that red. Some people get none of those gems. Personally, I like getting those too. Come through here. Here. I mentioned skittering. I only do it for a short time here. I mentioned skittering in the last video, but didn't really go into it. Basically on slanted uphill things that are not too steep. If it's too steep, you can't do this. But if it's just gradual enough, you can hold square and X, because Spyro is slower running uphill. But if you hold square and X, I'm about to do it. There's a slight incline here. Watch Spyro kind of vibrate, and that means I'm getting a skitter and going faster than I would if I was just charging. See that? So, yeah. You're gonna kind of see some of that here. Saw it right at the bottom there. Up. Once it gets steep up here, you can't do it anymore, but you're gonna come through here. Charge through those two. Come down here, and what I like to do is take just an ever so slightly wide line here. See how I'm kind of not hugging this as tight as I could, but taking a wide line. And if you take the right line, you can just charge through these chests. Yeah, some people like to take maybe a little bit of a tighter line and throw a flame charge in there, but it's really finicky to get that, and I like just making it completely safe and free. So yeah. Come down here, and you'll see let's just mention the blueness if you're not familiar. There's one at the end of every homeworld, and you need to meet a a certain collectible threshold, and each will request something different for you to go to the next homeworld. For artisans, it's 10 dragons. We have 11, so no problem. And you'll see how I'm kind of taking a line into the right here. It actually doesn't, he has a pretty wide talk box. If you go way out here, you can miss it, but he has a pretty wide talk box, and you don't save time by talking to him right here. So I did take the inside line as much as I could here. Just get the talk box. And what you're gonna want to do during all dialogue boxes in this category is just mash down and X the whole time. Mash down and X. You think oh, but if you're mashing down and X, what if you accidentally get an X press on this menu before a down, right? These menus are interesting. I'm not sure exactly how long it is, but if you're mashing X, it actually just doesn't take your input for a little bit, but it will register a down, and as soon as you register, or as soon as it registers a down or an up, then it starts taking X's immediately afterwards, which is why you can safely mash down an X. So that'll save you some time. Because in this category, you're just going to be clicking the next homeworld every single time, so you don't have to worry about what that even says, as long as you just mash down X the whole time during the dialogue box. So we're going to go to our second homeworld here. This is going to be a long video. I'm thinking about it. We had toasty wall glide and stuff. Okay, so at the start here, once again, we're starting with a charging jump. Remember, charging jump is the fastest way to get speed. And you're just going to hold 2 of them here because it's actually going to, you'll see, get us right up this perfectly. Charging jumps, we call them magic stairs. When you charging jump up a stair instead of jump charge, you see the difference? You know, if you jump and then charge, that's a jump charge. If you're charging and you are like holding the charge while you jump the whole time, that's a charging jump. Okay? So charging jumps are faster generally when it's available to do them, and that's one, and that one's free because you can just hold down, or you can just hold square and X to get 2 charging jumps there, and you'll get up that stair perfectly every time. And just charge right into this dragon. So this dragon, we're going to hold a charging jump. You can either jump charge to the right or charging jump to the right. It's up to you. I charging jump. You're going to want to kind of take a line so that you can curl through this guy, right? You can flame charge him. This flame charge honestly saves a very minimal amount of time. If you want, you can just charge through this guy. I flame charge. I even took like a safe enough line there that I wonder if I would have even hit him with just the charge if I didn't even flame charge. But you have the idea. You want to curl a little bit, start going this way. Through here, aim at that guy. Then you see how this guy starts to run away, right? This is going to be a tough flame charge to get a little used to just because he's moving away from you. But make sure to get him. He's a 5 gem. You want him. Flame charge. Then curl right back. If you've done it quick enough, you're going to curl right back into these gems. Get these red gems for free, pretty much, on the way to this guy. This guy. You want to hold a really tight line here. Hold a really tight line. You see how I skitter here too? See how I skitter? Let's roll that back. Charge through that. And then since I'm going to be on uphill, I'm skittering. Okay. Let me get there, and we're gonna, this whole thing, we're gonna kind of want to take an S movement through this cannon, or through these cannon guys. So here, hit that guy with the flame charge, go into the reds, grab the boxes, and be on our way into Dry Canyon. Okay. I'll also just mention that I am gonna start including the like whatever video I happen to use that I'm reviewing. I've used the same one for the whole time so far, but that might not be the case in the future. But I'll include that video down in the description, as well as any corrections, additions, blah blah blah. But if anyone just wants an uninterrupted thing without me pausing so much and talking over everything, if somebody wants a tutorial where it's more just I want to look at it and try to emulate it, you can just, you know, look at it like that. Okay, so right at the start here, I kind of just charge very briefly and then start walking. You want to charge very briefly to make sure your first flame, the flame as quick as you can get it out, is hitting this fan chest. And this angle is important. It's not too picky, but a mechanic of fan chests is actually that, like, after they blow up, like the top of them, you know, I guess can't really see it too much, but the top of the fan chest will actually fly off, and hit something in the back, or if there's nothing to hit, it'll just hit the ground. But in this case, it actually goes up and hits an enemy up on the cliff. That has a 25 gem, which will actually save us quite a bit of time to not have to kill that enemy, then grab his gem. His gem will just be on the ground. So mess with this angle if it's not giving you that, but yeah, that's important. Remember, 3 flames. Third one, start the walk forward, right? Start the walk forward on the 3rd flame and then start charging. Then taking a line in here. What I like to do on these lift chests is just basically hit X and flame at the same time and do a, you know, like a short, as short of a hop as we can, because if you're X flaming, you're jumping while also hitting the flame and it's going to come out and you're just going to grab it out of the top, right? Like that. You're gonna want to turn in, hit this guy, go through these gems, easy, easy. Jump charge into this dragon. Out of this dragon, you're gonna want to hold a charging jump to the left. Only do a charging jump. If you do a buffer, a glide, or buffer, or anything off this, you're gonna hit this guy too high. If you hit enemies too high, sometimes their gem will not home. So you want to hit this guy low enough. Charging jump into this, and then you see how I'm already kind of holding a line to the right here to get ready to move on. Charge through this. All right, this section's a little finicky. So these birds are kind of activated by where Spyro is, where he's looking. In this case, I'll show you what I do to reliably activate this back bird every time. You can just charge through these. You don't have to worry about flaming them. Watch what I do. See how I'm starting to head in. This is to make sure that this guy activates. I'm going to kind of just do a little like pump fake into the middle here and then go back out. Okay? Watch this. See? Just like that. That's just to make sure that the bird sees me and activates. Because then when I charge through these, you get it for free, right? So rewind and watch the whole thing. And then after that, I guess we'll pay attention to the birds for now. See? Right there? We're gonna go just far enough for this last gem to collect, and then we're gonna do a like kind of mid hop flame into this guy, and we're gonna grab the gem as it's coming out. Yeah? Then land over here. Some people like to run up to this and then take a double stair here. I like to play it safe. Just jump from back here, jump onto the first stair. I'll mention climbing stairs right now because this is a pretty important mechanic. To avoid bonking, you want to make sure to get enough height, obviously, with your jumps. But it's going to be way faster if you're throwing charges in. If you're just like slow hopping up these stairs, you're going to lose a ton of time. But basically, you want to like kind of just tap square every time. Just tap it. If you hold square, these are pretty long stairs, but in general, there's some shorter stairs. Like if you hold square, you're in danger of like bonking into the back. These stairs, it's not the worst, but in general, you want to tap square and get your next jump out right away as soon as you land. See that? See how I'm kind of like touching the back stair or the back of the stairs there, but I'm not bonking? That's because I just tapped square and didn't hold it. Charge through this guy. Oh, I'll also mention, at this point, the route is going to differ a little bit depending on a decision that you make. I'm going to be showing the more advanced version of the route. I'll link an older run of mine that does the easy route here. I would recommend for beginners to look at that. You can try this if you would like, but there's a pretty hard jump, and with the easy route, you also get more gems, which is nice. You have a bigger gem like padding, so if you're like missing some on the route and stuff, it's not as big of a deal. And you also get an extra egg, which we haven't mentioned eggs yet, but you'll see one soon. So those two things are pretty useful. I would recommend that. I'll link the video below. But for this route, I'm gonna focus on this route for now. If you have questions about the other route, feel free to message me on Discord or whatever. Here, jump charge back. Take a line where you don't want to go all the way out here. You see how I'm kind of using sparks to my advantage here of taking a line where it's just close enough to get this gem because I want to go this way. You always want to thinking about where you want to go next in general, where you're collecting gems. Like if you're just thinking about this gem, you're probably gonna go out here, you know, and make sure you get it, but that's gonna lose a bunch of time over the course of the run. Take the line there. There's that pink gem that I mentioned earlier. That's actually that was an enemy, but the fan chest killed him. Okay. So if there's an enemy there, you know that you did the fan chest thing wrong. Another skitter there. You saw me skitter up that uphill. Very important to throw those in. Right here. charge through there, quick jump charge. See that tech? This is a tech that I actually avoid as much as possible because I prefer to just kind of like do pivots and play a little differently, but jump charges are in general the fastest thing that you can do in most cases. Just a very quick one to change angle here. You see how like if I don't jump charge, I'm gonna like at best maybe curl in and hit. I'm either gonna miss or I'm gonna curl in and like hit him, but then I'm gonna be like facing out over this way. Then I'm gonna like not be because we want to go back here next. Like I'm gonna be not faced correctly for where I want to go next. So realign myself with the jump charge. Yeah. And here comes a pretty tough jump. This is why I would recommend maybe beginners look at a different route because you don't have to do this. But feel free to mess with it, you know. I like to take an inside line on these chests because we're going to be jumping off of right here. It helps me get a little more momentum this way. The further like towards the middle I am, the more I can get some momentum that way to holding the jump. You see me kind of charge jump to get straight out momentum this way, right? Just like straight out because we're aiming for out here. Okay? Look where I jump from. See, it's basically a coyote jump or very close to it, right? Or you can do that. There's a little bit of time when you're running off a ledge where you can still get your jump out, okay? And this is going to be similar to what I mentioned with Toasty Wall Glide, yeah? Really focus on this one. This is a tough jump, like this is very tight. You have to really focus on getting momentum outwards with a charge and jump full hop, and focus on getting that charge glide out at the very top of that full hop, right? While holding forward the whole time. See how far I've jumped outwards? I haven't even started my charge glide yet. Charge glide. Okay? What I want to do is aim for this corner that sticks out. You don't want to aim for this side of it. Okay, you might think it might be easier to grind up that side. You actually want to aim for this corner, but at the last second, kind of crank Spyro to the right and grind up this side. Okay? Let's watch it. I made this one by quite a bit, so I didn't really have to grind too bad. But in general, you do still want to turn it right. If you are trying to charge onto this ledge straight on, it's going to make this jump a lot harder, okay? So kind of watch it frame by frame. Ignore the flaming. I've seen this question in Twitch chats and stuff before. No, flaming in the air does not make you go faster or do anything. It's just keeping my hands active. A lot of top runners do that. You know, once you're familiar with this game, you're throwing in some swag flames. So yeah, see that right turn. That's very important to making this jump easier. Okay. Up here, look at the skitters. I'm gonna be skittering. Skitter, skitter, skitter. Just far enough to get this last red to home in. It's gonna home in. And then you want to touch this dragon on the back side, okay? Like somewhere in this area, okay? Don't worry about the key. We don't need it for this route. And then, oh, I don't know what happened there. That was the end of the level anyway. That was it. You know what? Let's watch. Let's kind of watch this whole jump again anyway. Yeah, watch this whole thing. Oop. There you go. Out. Charge on. Skitter, skitter, skitter. Dragon. At that point, we're exiting level. Okay. Exit level. Well, in this run, I failed to exit level like twice. I tried to go too fast. So that is actually something I'll mention. You can't actually just like, you know, mash like get your inputs out the next frame after it is. There's a little bit of like time that you have to wait for the menu to go up and then go down to exit level and then, you know, click yes. Or I guess you don't have to click yes for exit menu, but or exit level. But yeah, start up X. But don't do it too fast like I did multiple times in this run. Because you see I just didn't get the up input out like multiple times because I was trying to go too fast. So be careful with that. Yeah. All right. I think that's pretty much the end. Like I said, for beginners, I will link the other routes, and I'll kind of mention in my next videos where um, I think the major thing that it'll affect is eggs. In the route that I'm gonna go over, we have 6 possible eggs to get, and we need 5 to exit Magic Crafter, so you can afford to miss 1 egg. In the beginner route, like I said, you're gonna be getting an egg in this level, so there's 7 eggs routed in, and at that point you can miss 2. And it gets extra gems as well. So I'll link that below. Um, and if you have any questions about it, feel free to leave it in the comments or DM me on Discord or whatever. All right. I think that's about it for the end of Artisans, start of Peacekeepers, and Dry Canyon. I know that was a lot, so I wish you the best of luck. Good luck with Toasty Wall Glide and anything else that you might be working on. All right. Thanks for watching.